Oxford Business Group has launched the report Papua New Guinea 2020. This 9th edition contains in-depth analysis on the key issues and trends shaping the economy. The publication is being welcomed at a time of significant global uncertainty brought on by the COVID-19 pandemic. Following the first confirmed COVID-19 case in PNG on March 20th, the country closed its borders to international travellers and immediately implemented a lockdown to limit the movement of people. Restrictions were eased after 2 weeks, enabling a phased reopening of the economy. Cases then began to rise once again, and upon the country's first COVID-19 related fatality on July 27th, Prime Minister James Marape imposed a 14-day lockdown on the capital, Port Moresby. Safety measures included the shuttering of non-essential businesses, school closures, and a ban on domestic flights to and from the capital. A curfew was also introduced from 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. and public transport services were suspended with the exception of taxis. Those undertaking essential duties were mandated to wear a face mask in public. It remains to be seen how far this second round of restrictions will mitigate the spread of the coronavirus, as well as how long these measures will remain in place and exactly how restrictions will impact the business community and economy in the longer term. The pandemic arrived on the back of a period of improved performance for PNG's economy, which enjoyed a period of 5.6% growth in real GDP in 2019. This was largely driven by improved extractives performance after PNG recovered from the effects of a devastating earthquake that halted production at key projects in 2018. The non-resource segment faced an unfavourable international trade environment during 2019 against the backdrop of US-China trade disputes. This latest report from OBG provides an in-depth analysis of the role that gold exports could play in helping PNG ride out the commodities slump triggered by COVID-19. It also highlights further opportunities across PNG's extractive industries, whilst also tracking negotiations on the 2 planned liquefied natural gas projects that have the potential to double PNG's LNG output. The report also charts the latest progress in PNG's $8 billion medium-term development plan for the period 2018 to 2022, which is spearheading a drive toward improved transport infrastructure. Key developments explored include a $206.5 million contract inked between local and Japanese partners in December 2019 for the expansion of the Lai Nadzab Airport into an international facility. Other major projects examined include the Coral Sea cable system to Sydney, which became operational in February 2020 and should boost access to digital services. OBG also considers the role that restructuring state-owned ICT assets could play as PNG aims to reduce the cost of online services. And the report also details PNG's plans to develop special economic zones as part of the efforts to expand the country's manufacturing industry. While looking to bolster the non-extractive segments is a key commitment for the Marape administration, it remains to be seen how far the COVID-19 pandemic will lead to a reappraisal of the government's long-term strategy, or to a reshuffling of the priorities of resource companies. Nevertheless, in spite of pandemic-related constraints, agriculture continues to offer potential to emerge as a new growth engine for the economy, particularly if infrastructure gaps can be addressed. This leaves the door open for those players who can help address PNG's infrastructure shortfalls and unlock new opportunities for investment and wealth generation across the country. Read the report Papua New Guinea 2020 for in-depth analysis of all these crucial topics, as well as incisive insights from key private and public sector players.